Hi my dear students, welcome to the another session of social science. I am Deepa here with a new topic. In the previous class, I have started new unit, that is unit 4, ancient civilizations. In the previous class, I taught you about the first civilization of the world, that is Egypt civilization. In that class, you got the information and a clear information about the Egypt civilization. And today I am here with a new civilization, that is the Mesopotamian civilization. It is the second civilization in your textbook. As you know, all the civilization have flourished on the bank of rivers. Here the Mesopotamian civilization also took birth, or it flourished in the area between two rivers, or this Mesopotamian civilization lies in a valley, means area between two rivers. Those rivers are Tigris and Euphrates. In between these two rivers, this Mesopotamian civilization flourished. And here in the Greek language, there is a meaning for this Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia means in Greek language area between two rivers, that is called Mesopotamia, nothing but valley. Here in this region, means in the Mesopotamian civilization, this region ruled by different tribes. So like Sumerians, Babylonians, Akkadians, Barbarians, Amorites, Neo-Babylonians, Hittites, like these different tribes ruled in this region. So this is about the introduction of the Mesopotamian civilization. Next point is political history of Mesopotamia civilization. This civilization political history starts with the Sumerians. Here Sumerians, this civilization is the first civilization ruled in this area or in this region. During their rule, there were major or important three city states were there. Those were Ur, Kish and Lagash. These three were the main or important city states during the Sumerians rule. And Sumerians wrote in cuneiform script. They used the script that is called cuneiform, and they used to write this script on a wet clay slate. ವೆಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಹಸಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಬರೀತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಕ್ಲೇ ಅಂದರೆ ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಮುದ್ದೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಆನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ದೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ಸ್ಲೇಟ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ Sumerians, Akkadians came to rule in this region. After that, barbarians. So by destroying Akkadians, barbarians came to rule. After that, Amorites, then Babylonians. During the rule of Babylonians, even they included Akkadians states also in under their rule, so that they established a vast empire during the rule of Babylonians. So in these major kings, these are the major tribes ruled in the Mesopotamian civilization. Here important kings are firstly Hammurabi. You would have heard this name. Hammurabi, he was the most famous king from the Babylonians. Means from the Babylonian tribes, Hammurabi was the most famous king. Why he became very famous means because of his code of law. His code of law was an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Here he had a code of law while ruling, that is an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾರು ಯಾವ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಅದೇ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆಯನ್ನು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಬೇರೆಯವರ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಹರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅವನ ಕಣ್ಣನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಕಿತ್ತಬೇಕು, ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಕಾಲು ಮುರಿದಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಕಾಲನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಮುರಿಬೇಕು, ಆ ಥರ. ಟಿಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ ನಾವು, ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ this was the code of law of Hammurabi. It was very famous during that time. Even this law was followed by Kassite tribes and also Hittite tribes also. And after that, one more famous king from this Mesopotamian civilization, that is Assurbanipal, and he was a famous king from Assyrians. These Assyrians defeated Hittites and came to rule, and these Assyrians also ruled this Mesopotamia region. And Assurbanipal was very famous king, and also he was the last king from the Assyrians rule. In the Assyrians rule, he was the Assurbanipal was the last king, and he was also a poet. He used to write a poetry, so that he was a famous poet also. During his rule, he has established a royal library. The name of library was Nineveh. He has established a royal library at Nineveh. So who established? Assurbanipal established a royal library at Nineveh. So this is about the Assurbanipal. Next is Nebuchadnezzar. He was one of the great king from the Mesopotamian civilization. And here, after the Assyrians, another one tribe ruled here, that is Chaldeans. From the Chaldeans, these Chaldeans re-established the Babylonian dynasty or Babylonian rule, because after the Assyrians, Babylonians they were not so strong, but after the Assyrians, by defeating these Chaldeans defeated Assyrians and re-established the Babylonians. That dynasty used to call as New Babylonians, because this Babylonians started to rule second time in the Mesopotamian civilization, and he was the greatest king among these Neo-Babylonians, and he is famous for his hanging garden. He created, during his rule, he has created a hanging garden, and it is the one of the 7 wonder of the world. The hanging garden, it is one of the 7 wonders of the world. This is built by Nebuchadnezzar. Finally, about 2500 years ago, so emperor, his name was Cyrus, he started to rule. After that, this Mesopotamian civilization got downfall. So this is about the political history of Mesopotamian civilization. So the next point is contributions of Mesopotamian civilization, or contributions of Mesopotamians, what they contributed to the world. Here, the Mesopotamians were the first to adopt code of law, that is done by Hammurabi. I told you before while teaching political history about the Hammurabi, I was teaching now. During that time, I told you. Here, the Hammurabi was the first to ensure enforce the code of law, that is an eye for an eye and a teeth for a teeth. That code of law firstly enforced by Hammurabi and firstly adopted by the Mesopotamians. And here he had Hammurabi, during his rule, he had prohibited abuse of slaves. Means the abuse of slaves he had prohibited. ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಲೇವ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ದಬ್ಬಾಳಿಕೆ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನು ಆತ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಿದ್ದ, ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಪ್ರೊಹಿಬಿಟೆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ They had, as in Egypt civilization, they had their own guardian deities. Like that, here also Mesopotamian civilization people also had their own guardian deities. And high-raised temples we can see during the build during the Mesopotamian civilization. Those high-raised temples, high-raised temple used to call as called ziggurat. High-raised temple built by Mesopotamian people, those were called ziggurat. You can observe in the picture also. So here cuneiform, as I told in the before only, cuneiform script used by the people of Mesopotamia. Mesopotamian people or Sumerians started this cuneiform script. They wrote in this cuneiform script. Lastly, Gilgamesh is a great epic poem. Means this is the epic poem created during the Mesopotamian civilization. This is the one of the great epic poem called Gilgamesh. So this is about the Mesopotamian civilization, contributions of Mesopotamian civilization. So in this class we learnt about the political history of Mesopotamian civilization and contributions of Mesopotamian civilization. So let's meet in the another class of one more civilization, that is Chinese civilization. Let's start in the next class. Till then, keep watching videos. Thank you.